Welcome back, my disciples. It is your voice, the voice of the voices back at it again. And today we have to talk about the Backrooms movie because this movie took me off guard. When I tell you that this movie was a complete shocker, I really didn't think it was going to be that good, but boy, did it change my mind. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go into my non-spoiler review. Then we're going to spoilers. But right off the bat, I'm just going to have to say this. You all have to see this movie. This movie is a complete package with its atmospheric horror and study of absurdism. And if you don't know what that is, absurdism is the conflict between human tendency to seek the inherent meaning and purpose in life. I would like to thank Google for that definition. But let's go into the movie. So, what to expect when you see the Bathrooms? If you're a fan of King Pixels, then he spends most of his time in the first level of the Backrooms. We don't really get to see level zero. Like I said, this movie was kind of an introduction for those who are new to the Backrooms. As for the monsters, besides the lifelikes, I mean the still lifes, you won't be seeing that many entities. And besides that, this movie is more focused on atmospheric horror. And that's what I like about Kane Pictures' Backrooms compared to the other fan projects. Kane Pixel, he made the Backrooms this sort of isolation type of horror rather than running away from monsters or being afraid of what's in it. The biggest fear is you losing your sanity. But this movie, with a small cast, I think Kane was able to do everything that he could. And besides that, there are a lot of Easter eggs in here too. We learned that time is different in the Backrooms compared to real life. Like when the couple goes missing, you can see that time sort of alternates when Clark, the film's main protagonist, steps into the Backrooms and when he steps back out. But with that being said, I think we should go ahead and talk about the spoilers. And right off the bat, we see Clark struggling with his life and the store that he owns. We see him in this pirate costume. Now, one detail many people will miss. If you're wondering where the other still lives came from, that's the lady with the red hair, that one old guy that was sitting in the chair, and that small puppet looking creature. I would like to point this out. Clark had killed them earlier, and I believe it was off screen, but it's a small detail that you will miss. And one thing a lot of people will miss, Clark was already set up to be the film's antagonist. I mean, we see how he treats that couple. He uses one of them as a sacrificial pawn. After both of them get killed by Clark's doppelganger or his still life, and then we see him try to bring Dr. Mary Klein, and she gets trapped in the Backrooms too. Now, one of the most unsettling parts of this film is that kitchen scene. A lot of people are saying that it went on for too long, but if you ask me, that scene was uncomfortable. Like I was sitting in the theater, and the moment Clark's still life pulled up, the moment his doppelganger pulled up and just devoured him, now that took me off guard. Also, one detail, so Clark's wife, the still life version, the one that's been trapped in the backrooms, I like how she was the first one to take off or hit the burners as soon as Clark's doppelganger had showed up. And I gotta say, for the designs of the still lifes, especially Clark's, they did a great job. But his design was unsettling, and I had a few chills. But with that being said, we later figure out after Mary is found by these hazmat people in the back rooms, people in the yellow jumpsuits, turns out that she never escaped either. And we see at the end of the film that she became a still life. And that's pretty much the entire movie. There's no after credits or mid credits. But with that being said, what is my final verdict? Kane Pixels, you're a prodigy. The fact that a 20-year-old man made this project when he was about 16 and he's now making a movie about it, I kind of like this rise of indie game movies or, analog horror. Starting to see, more and more of those go on the rise. And I'm starting to see a little shift with Hollywood. And it's saying something. A 20-year-old was able to make a better film than Star Wars and any other big franchise out there. So, Kane Pixels, I don't know if you'll ever see this video. I'm a big fan. You did amazing. But my final verdict of this movie, I'm going to give this movie a pass. In my opinion, this movie's kind of a 7.5 out of 10. Now, just be careful if you have any children and you want to see this movie. It might scare them a bit, but this movie isn't that gory or anything. But there's going to be some parts that might scare them a bit. But with that being said, I'm going to watch this movie again. It's underrated. For those who see this video, y'all need to watch this movie. Get your ticket, get your popcorn, get your Pepsi, and chill out and just enjoy the show. Or you can wait till it's on streaming platforms. But besides that, this is the voice of the voiceless signing back out.